Hello. I'm gonna just kind of talk at you while I get ready to do comedy tonight. I want to try something a little new here. Um, well, I'm gonna mess around with my hair anyway while I talk at you. Um, a lot of comedy vlogs or video, or I don't know who puts out what because I don't have the time to look up everything, but it's always yay, you see people put out videos, they're successful, and they're, oh, look, I'm a successful comic, I'm gonna put out videos and everyone's gonna be entertained by it. And it's easy to follow a comedian who's got their life together and have it all figured out, which is a relative term. No one ever really figures out life, but no one ever shows you the iceberg part of it. I should start out by, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ezra Paco. I'm a Central Coast of California comedian based out of Santa Maria. I do the majority of my stand-up performing in SLO, San Luis Obispo, at open mics, and in Santa Maria. I used to be a producer here. I still am a producer, but I used to run a show here in Santa Maria at the Swiss Bar. I got to run once a month shows that featured local and out-of-town comics. But just like anything else in life, things happened, and that show was dissolved, not by any one person. It was just the powers that be led to the show not happening anymore, which is cool. It was really good while it lasted and got a great learning experience out of it. Then I currently run a show at La Casita once a month in Grover Beach and at a dispensary in Lompoc. I don't smoke weed, but those are where I run shows. Anyway, that's my background. Actually, I've been doing comedy for 4 years. A percentage of that was done on Zoom, primarily with comics from San Jose, which is like, I'm not from San Jose. How did that happen? It was that I used to DJ for comedians that did shows here in like 2017, 2018, 2019. And those comics during the pandemic had to move their shows to Zoom because that's what everybody did during the pandemic. And so I got on the room to start practicing and writing. And then when shows came back and later into 2020, I did my first show in a buddy of mine, Junior's backyard. I did an open mic, and I didn't completely eat shit. So I figured just keep going. My good friend Pete Munoz recommended, hey, there you go, you did it, keep going. And kept refining over Zoom, and then shows opened up here. And so that's basically how I got my intro into comedy. I used to be a DJ, and I used to be in bands. I've been in bands and been a DJ since high school. I've been in bands since before that. I used to make a joke, a really stupid joke. People would say, oh, you're funny, and I never thought nothing of it. I said, well, if everything else in life fails, I will get into comedy. Well, everything else in life failed. Well, not my life. Like, I have a beautiful wife. I have a totally awesome son that I get along with his mother. And I have a loving family, which is not usually the appropriate background for comedians. Usually comedians have tragic backgrounds. I did lose my father in high school. I didn't lose him. He died. And I also was able to kind of couch surf for a while. I didn't grow up rich, but I didn't grow up I would say that I grew up poor because I look at the apartments I grew up in now, and they're super ghetto. So I don't know what that makes me or how that lines me up with anything. Anywho, the purpose of this vlog, after this first one introducing myself, how I would introduce myself to newcomers or people who don't know me, is going to be to see the innards of comedy. Now, keep in mind, I am not a headliner. I am not booked on a lot of shows for one reason or another. And you will learn those reasons as this vlog goes on, and I continue to release pieces of it to you guys. But the Central Coast has a scene. It's not big like cities within driving distance like Hollywoods and even like the aforementioned San Jose. There are not a disgusting amount of places to do comedy. You're lucky if you can hit 2 mics a night in the Central Coast area without having to go to Santa Barbara, which has shows too, but they don't have an insane amount of them either. Actually, one of the things that inspired me to want to do this is I thought, why don't I just show people how hard this really is? And I don't consider myself terrible at it. There are really refined comedians in the area, people who definitely have their act together, who I greatly respect. People like, well, he moved at Rick's Store, has a good solid act. He's a good dude. Stormy Silva, Kelsey Ray. My good friend Un Paquito has a really good refined bit that he has taken out of town, gone to Hollywood. I name dropped Un Paquito because he's been a real mentor of mine to help me through the challenges of doing this. Just like anything else, comedy has its it's an iceberg. Like, yeah, you see the part that floats, you see the little clips people put online, and this is fun. This guys, you don't see all the work that goes into it. But that's with anything else. Like, I don't want to sound like a douchebag. Like, comedians work harder than, like, no, you don't see how hard firefighters go through training, the weeks and weeks they endure to be able to be a firefighter, the years of training it takes to be a nurse, or I'd say the same for politicians, but all you have to do is learn how to kiss ass and, like, screw people over. That's a different story. But comedy, like anything else, has a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of playing the game. I make jokes because my profession, besides being a comedian, I've been a server for near 15 years. I've been in the restaurant business over 15 years. I've been a server well over 10 years. Start to lose count after a while. And in serving, just like with comedy, sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you work. It's who you work with that changes the game for you. And I'm only saying that because I have yet to fully meet the people in the comedy world who are super changing the game for me. Besides Un Paquito, Sal Espana, there's people, you know who you are because I've given you credit and we talk. And if we're still friends and we talk after shows, then you're the ones who are really helping guide me. And the scene here is pretty strong, but every area has its scene. Not unlike music and playing in bands, you have people who they're great performers, but maybe they're so on their own thing that they're gonna be doing their shit and you're gonna be doing yours, and it might be in the same venue, but you might not even interact with them much. Who knows? Everybody's different. You're playing math with you're playing math with relationships. Playing math. You're doing math. Like, the percentages, not everybody's gonna come right out the gates and be like, oh, this is the homie. This is like, some people are gonna suck, some people are gonna be cool. But I hope to let you guys in on pieces of this as I go through the journey. It'd be a lot, just like I love my wife Shalane, and she's been ride or die. She's been with me from the beginning of. She started dating me when I worked at Taco Bell, which is definitely nothing to really brag about, especially when you're in your 30s working at Taco Bell. Let's be realistic. But I want you guys to get a chance to ride with me from the beginning of this. There are people who already support what I do, which I love and appreciate. Jessica Tovar has been doing amazing things here in the Central Coast, and she's been, well, to what I believe, she started as a fan of what I was doing, which I'll never forget. I love and appreciate that. The homie Alexis from work, been watching what I do. Sarah Samiego, I maybe have butchered your last name because I never actually heard you say it, but Sarah, you guys, your whole crew has been just really cool to supporting what we do, and so hopefully this vlog gets to you guys first, and you get to see it and be part of it. I'm just kind of spacing out too because I was trying something new with my hair. I don't know if it works or not, but I guess that I want to leave something more to go off on for the vlog for next time. I just kind of wanted to shoot from the hip here and try this out, give you about 10 minutes of me getting ready for tonight's. It's Thursday night. Today's date is March 21st. So it's Thursday night. Every Thursday night is Slow Cider. Cider Pete Ayer. You're amazing for letting us do it. We do a Slow Cider every Thursday night. It's an open mic that has a very big following. There happens to be a show tonight also at Bang the Drum, hosted by Aiden Candelario, who also has been a very supportive, and amazing person. His show's slated to be a really good one. Bob Powers is going to be there. Bob is damn hilarious and a riot and absolute homie, too. I mean, people have been amazing. Like, with the exception of a few people, the support system out here is amazing, and I never want people to think I don't appreciate them and what they do for me, what we do for each other, and what we have to be able to go out every night, almost every night, at least once or twice a night, and make jokes about dicks and sex and relationships and religion and gross things and being an addict or a former addict or God knows what. So, that's probably where I'll leave it here, is because I am getting ready for Slow Cider. I'm going to leave in I'm very lucky to only have to drive 22 to 28 minutes to get to do comedy. There's places, I've heard stories of comedians on podcasts where they drove 5 hours to go do 3 minutes, and fuck all that noise, especially now with technology. And that's another thing I'm hoping for. I don't expect a shortcut on the work, but I expect to work a little bit smarter, and hopefully social media pans out better for me than advertising for the shows has been. So, anywho, that'll conclude this comedy vlog for... I know it wasn't funny, but hopefully it was insightful for you. We'll give you a little bit of insight on who I am, and if you don't know me already, or a little bit of maybe something you did or didn't know about me, leave any questions in the comments below if you want to have me address anything. I would love to just answer questions, open up some insight. And I won't know everything because I'm still learning too, but I figured as I learn, you guys can all learn and grow with me, and we can grow this thing together, and then everybody can say, hey, I remember when he was nothing, just shooting videos on his fucking Note 10 Plus. I'm all flex. His Note 10 Plus in front of his battery operated my fashion light here, and messing around with his hair. And I've been riding with him since whenever this is. So thank you guys for watching. Again, leave a comment, share this video, let me know. Comments are important. I need interaction. I'd love to interact with all you guys, not just publicly, but here in the comments. I love a good back and forth. So thank you guys. Till next time, deuces and trays. Keep it easy.